Let's maul in the Central Committee. Let's cringe in the Central Committee. Let's bog in the Central Committee right now.
Today is a big day. It's the anniversary of when the police dropped a bomb on Philadelphia. It's time for us to talk about this. Because I'm Mike from PA, and I can't let this important anniversary go by without educating and talking to you about it. I'm sure some of you have heard of this before. I know it's been covered here, but it's important for those of you who are new here who haven't seen this story for us to cover this.
There is a small war underway on a street in Philadelphia tonight.
There was gunshots, thousands of rounds of bullets from the police.
Police moved in with tear gas and water cannon.
They wanted to kill our children.
I had recommended to use an explosive entry device.
The house shook. Smoke was coming in, so we knew they dropped the bomb on us.
Police allowed the blaze to burn an hour and a half before calling in firefighters.
I don't care what they said. There was no justification for what they did.
They done burn up 2 blocks. Explain that.
I never imagined that the government would drop a bomb on a row house in Philadelphia.
It's an embarrassment to the city of Philadelphia.
My name is Ramona Africa, and I was there when the police dropped a bomb on me and my family May 13th of 1985 and killed 11 of my family members. I was there. I was born and raised in West Philadelphia. I went to Temple University and I was headed to law school. But after I met MOVE, I wanted to be a revolutionary. MOVE is a revolutionary organization founded by John Africa that believes in revolution, not in fighting and bloodshed, but true revolution. I joined MOVE in 1979. I was listening to what was happening with MOVE and could not believe that the cops were attacking MOVE the way they were.
Until today, there was a house in Philadelphia filled with people who for years confounded everybody. They called themselves MOVE and never said what that meant. They tried to live in the city as if it were the forest, ignoring modern plumbing, trash collection, or rat control. They offended the neighbors first and then the city, which ordered them out last year. Today, the city went to move them.
As firemen crawled forward with a water hose, shots rang out.
The MOVE 9 were 9 of our sisters and brothers who were arrested unlawfully for the murder of a police officer and given a 30 to 100-year sentence.
Last December, 9 MOVE members went on trial for the death of Officer Ramp.
Everybody knew that MOVE did not kill a cop because MOVE was in the basement. Officer James Ramp was standing up on street level, and the media said he was shot on a downward angle. So there's no way that MOVE could have shot him.
They wear their hair in dreadlocks because they reject combs as symbols of industrialization, which their back-to-nature philosophy opposes. Their basic goal is to overthrow the present system of government, which they consider to be corrupt.
People thought MOVE was crazy.
Remember, chat? Remember how we talked about how racist white people are against natural hairstyles? We covered that this week, wasn't it? Or was that last week? Black people have natural hair. That means that they're rejecting industrialization and they must be destroyed. Yeah, that was on Monday. Thank you, chat.
At that time, because of the media.
They spew out obscenities when they talk.
Terrible language.
Rizzo said that he wanted MOVE out of Philadelphia.
It's amazing that this group has been running loose now for a half a dozen, couple, 3, 4 years that I know of. and they should have been in prison many, many months ago.
We moved into Osage Avenue because that was our headquarters. It was warm.
So, chat, I'm going to stop this to give you a little bit of... you saw the mayor of Philadelphia there for a second. He flashed on there. Mayor Rizzo. Now, Mayor Rizzo is so insanely racist that I can't explain it without showing you it.
We wanted to know exactly what was going on up here, so last Monday we rented a van, covered up all the windows, and placed I-Team cameraman Greg Meyer inside that van with his video camera. At about 9:30 in the morning, we parked it right here, sitting just down the street from Mr. Rizzo's house. It should be noted that the van was parked on a public street in broad daylight. At no time did any of our people go on Mr. Rizzo's property. What you're looking at is what cameraman Meyer saw through the lens of the hidden I-Team camera that morning. Not much happened for about 3 hours. And then around noon, several police officers became suspicious of our vehicle. If you look closely, you can see some of them in the van's rear view mirror. Now, in just a moment, we'll show you the unedited tape of exactly what happened when one of our I-Team members opened the truck door. But before we do, we want you to know that when the door was open, cameraman Meyer immediately handed over this official Philadelphia police press pass in order to clearly identify himself to everybody on the scene. And also remember, as you watch this, that Frank Rizzo is not a member of the Philadelphia Police Department, and this is supposed to be an official police matter. Here we go.
It's all right. Wait a minute. Let him identify himself. That's enough. What do you mean that's enough? We want to know who you are.
Who are you, sir? Can I have some identification?
Identification.
Come on out.
You ever come out holding your hands up like that, you'll get in trouble. We want to know who you are and what you're doing up here. Who is he? I thought it was somebody up here to hurt somebody.
We're up here for security, you know? Would have been a lot easier to stop and tell us you're here. We don't know. He's saying you have a dog in here, right?
You're a bunch of...
We could have shot you or something. We don't know.
Pull that, take that thing out, unhook it. Or I'll throw it out in the middle of the goddamn street. You turn that off.
It's on.
It's on. Well, it won't be on long.
It's
won't be on long.
It's still on.
Let me tell you something. You know, I've been around a long time. And I just can't understand. It's all right. I'll pull another one. Get out of here.
By the way,
ladies
chat.
and gentlemen, there's nothing wrong with your TV set. It's just that Mr. Rizzo finally broke our equipment. Last Friday, I asked Police Commissioner Morton Solomon about this incident. And Mayor Rizzo...
So, chat, we're going to get more deep into Mayor Rizzo. But do you know what his campaign was? His campaign slogan. When he was running for a third term. I want you to guess what his campaign slogan was when he was running for a third term. You guys are fucking way too soft on him. I'm not going to let you Google it, so no one knows it. But I do. As mayor, Rizzo was a strong opponent of desegregation of Philadelphia schools and prevented the construction of public housing in majority white neighborhoods. While running for a third term, Rizzo urged supporters to vote white. During his tenure as police commissioner and mayor, the Philadelphia Police Department engaged in patterns of police brutality, intimidation, coercion, and disregard for constitutional rights, in particular towards the African-American community. The patterns of police brutality were documented in a Pulitzer Prize-winning Philadelphia Inquirer series by William K. Marimo and John Newman. Vote white. Ancient history, by the way, chat. This country was not racist after the civil rights laws. He was a member of the Democratic Party until 1986 when he switched to the Republican Party. Vote white. So that's the Rizzo. That's the mayor.
He wanted moved out of Philadelphia.
It's amazing that this group has been running loose now for a half a dozen, couple, 3, 4 years that I know of, and they should have been in prison many months ago.
We moved into Osage Avenue because that was our headquarters. It was warm and loving. There was children there. We would take them to the park. That was mainly our day. Some people said we was on the loudspeaker day and night, every day. That was just a lie, probably promulgated by the police along with the media. We were getting along with our neighbors and nothing was going on. That's why we were surprised and shocked when hundreds of cops invaded our area trying to throw Move out of our home. And this was on Sunday, Mother's Day.
There is a small war underway on a street in Philadelphia tonight. It has been going on all day between hundreds of Philadelphia police and a bizarre back-to-nature group called Move.
Nothing happened all day, but that
James, wait,
night,
I never, shut the fuck up, I'm gonna slap you, I never did.
The police commissioner got on a loudspeaker and said, "Attention, Move, this is America. You had 15 minutes to come out." Well, obviously we didn't come out because we knew they wanted to kill us. They didn't want to arrest us. They could have done that anytime.
It was shortly before 6 a.m. when police moved in with tear gas and water cannon to evict members of the extremist group Move.
When we were in the basement for a while, we didn't feel anything. And then the water started coming down on us. I mean, rushing down on us.
What we intended to do was to create a diversion on the roof of the Move compound.
It was hard to breathe. Our children were soaking wet. And then they started with the tear gas.
Tear gas started coming in. We got the blankets and they was wet, and then we put them over our heads and started laying down.
They blew a hole in the house to the left of us to try to come through it to come after us.
What we wanted them to do was to come out of the front of 6221 Osage and surrender.
We tried to get out after that. We tried to bring the kids out and was shot back into the house.
A gun battle erupted.
They shot over 10,000 bullets. So that was their intent, to kill everybody in that house.
I don't think that they should kill the people and their babies. They should find another solution.
After that, that's when the silence was. It was a long interval of silence, and we didn't know what they were doing. We felt comfortable for a minute. And then the bomb was dropped. The house shook. It shook. And then we start feeling the heat and the smoke, which we knew wasn't tear gas. We knew there was a fire in the house. We heard the crackling of the trees that was in back of Osage.
The night skies over West Philadelphia, bright with flames. As many as 60 buildings may be on fire.
I was told, and I saw newspaper issues about people yelling to the firefighters to put the fire out.
Firefighters didn't put the fire out.
Why wasn't they putting the fire out?
They did not put the fire out.
They dropped the bomb on the house to take care of one Move family. One Move out, they done burn up 2 blocks. Explain that.
It was all in the newspaper that Sambor told the fire commissioner to let the fire burn.
The fire burned for an hour and a half before police called in firefighters. Tonight, it is unknown exactly how many Move members may have escaped the blaze, or how many, perhaps, were trapped inside.
We all decided we was coming out, and we were bringing the children out of the house and hollering to the police, "We're coming out, we're bringing the children out." And their response was gunshots. Bertie was right behind me, so when I decided to come out, I grabbed him. And that's how we both got out of that house, that blazing inferno. Police grabbed me and arrested me and put handcuffs on my arms, even though I was burnt. And they grabbed Bertie and put him in a police van and took him away. I never saw him again. In the hospital, I was looking for the rest of my family to come in, and nobody came in behind me. And that's when I knew some of my family, at least, were dead.
Philadelphia police this morning continue searching for more bodies in the burned rubble of a West Philadelphia neighborhood.
One by one, more bodies of MOVE members were found in the rubble of their fortress home. The toll now higher than most had expected. 5
children and 6 adults. Nobody was ever arrested for the murder of my family. Nobody went to jail but me. I was arrested. I was the only one put on trial for arson, conspiracy, everything that they did, they charged me with. The jury found me guilty. I was sentenced to 16 months to 7 years. So I did the whole 7 years. I haven't been back to Osage Avenue since May 13th of '85. It was 61 or so houses.
Look at what the police did to this neighborhood. They destroyed 61 townhomes with a bomb and let it burn. 2 blocks completely destroyed. Killing 5 children.
Burnt. It was damaged to the core. The people that lived on there took a while to come back. Some of them never came back.
City taxpayers spent $33 million to rebuild the houses.
The homes that was rebuilt, they had sinking foundations. They got leaking roofs. The electricity was messed up. They looked like project houses. Today, I still have the burn scars from May 13th of '85, and some people have told me you should get cosmetic surgery. They can take that off. And I'm saying, why would I want to take it off? I want to be reminded. Our significance today is the consistent example of MOVE. Keep fighting, no matter what, because people can look at MOVE and...
This is a Pennsylvania historical marker. On May 13th, 1985, at 6221 Osage Avenue, an armed conflict occurred between the Philadelphia police and MOVE members. A PA State Police helicopter dropped a bomb on the MOVE house. An uncontrolled fire killed 11 MOVE members, including 5 children, and destroyed 61 homes. So anytime you go in Pennsylvania and you're at a location with historical significance, you will find one of these Pennsylvania Historical Museum Commission markers. For example, I know of where the first oil well was ever drilled in the entire world.
People could look at MOVE and say, I don't want to be in jail for 30 or 40 years. I don't want to die. I don't want to have a bomb dropped on me. But the thing is, you can die any day of the week in this country being killed by police. People ought to take the lesson from MOVE and stand up for what is right. As long as we can fight, we're going to fight.
And chat, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because it's the anniversary. It's, where was that plaque? We lost the plaque, but so anyway, Frank Rizzo, chat, remember that? Vote white. That was the mayor of Philadelphia. Vote white. And in fact, he had a statue. He had a statue until this year in Philadelphia. June 3rd, 2020.
The city of Philadelphia has removed the statue of former Mayor Frank Rizzo overnight. It stood in front of a municipal building that was right across the street from City Hall. The statue of the former mayor and police commissioner was placed in a secure storage area by the Department of Public Property, where it will remain until there is a plan to either donate, relocate, or otherwise dispose of it altogether. Rizzo was known for aggressively policing black and gay people in the 1960s and 70s and was considered an icon amongst the conservative groups. But many Philadelphians say that the statue represents racism, bigotry, and police.
I thought conservatives weren't racist. He's an icon, chat.
Brutality. It's in response to the statue's removal, the city's mayor called the move, quote, the beginning of the healing process for our city. And, you know, I got to say, Vlad, for years, mayors have been promising to remove that statue. And there was, you know, robust pushback. I think there was a recent petition, 20,000 people wrote saying that they wanted the statue to stay put. It's the only statue of a mayor in the city of Philadelphia. And one thing that the current mayor, Kenny...
Of all the people who have lived in Philadelphia and served as its mayor, this was once the capital of the United States, our most important city. And the racist guy who said vote white is the one who had a statue outside of City Hall. Pretty amazing.
He said about the statue that was part of the challenge in moving it is that...
I mean, Benjamin Franklin started the American Abolition Society and was its first president. But the racist guy who said vote white in 1980 has the statue. You think racism is over in America?
That no one wanted to take it, and they simply could not find a place to put it, not to mention it's expensive to move and place somewhere else. But it had been the target, kind of a magnet, if you will, during these protests here in Philadelphia. At one point, protesters surrounding it, trying to pull it down. It weighs 2,000 pounds. That wasn't going to happen. It had been heavily graffitied over the last few days, and Mayor Kenney just decided, you know, the moment is now. Let's just remove this altogether and deal with the problem of what to do with it later.
For decades, UFOs have been the stuff of science fiction.
Okay, we haven't really talked about the UFO ship. Maybe we'll do it. It is Sunday Fun Day, right? Fuck you. No days are fun here. This is Politics Andy. This is the Politics Andy. You come here for fun? I have to be in a good mood. And so the move, why, you know, some new information has popped up about the MOVE bombings. And you're going to be even more disgusted. Are you ready? Life is miserable when you're a miserable commie. Lion Dabs. Your name is Lion Dabs. Please stop.
Mark the 36th anniversary of the Philadelphia police bombing of the home of the radical black liberation anti-police brutality group MOVE that killed 6 adults and 5 children and burned down 2 city blocks.
4K, chat.
In a major development, Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney announced the resignation of Philadelphia's top health official over new revelations he cremated some of the bombing victims' remains, including bone fragments, without the knowledge or permission of the families. This is the mayor.
Health Commissioner Dr. Thomas Farley disclosed that several years ago he learned of remains found by the medical examiner's office that belonged to victims of the 1985 MOVE bombing. Instead of fully identifying those remains and returning them to the family, he made a decision to cremate and dispose of them. This action lacked empathy for the victims, their family, and the deep pain that the MOVE bombing has brought to our city for nearly 4 decades.
Not only that, chat, The body parts were held, I believe, at the University of Pennsylvania Museum. Is that not right?
Philadelphia Mayor Kenney said he demanded the health commissioner's resignation, but put the city's medical examiner, Dr. Sam Galino, on administrative leave because he has civil service protection, unlike Dr. Farley, and because he's needed for the investigation. The mayor met with MOVE family members on Wednesday and agreed to announce the news on the bombing anniversary. He said the amount of remains destroyed without notifying them is not yet known. An investigation will include people approved by the MOVE family. This comes amidst an ongoing investigation into how the University of Pennsylvania and Princeton University were in possession of bones thought to belong to 1 or 2 MOVE children killed in the bombing and used them in an online teaching course without the family's knowledge or permission. Meanwhile, on Thursday, MOVE family members...
Did you catch that, chat? One more time.
And Princeton University were in possession of bones thought to belong to 1 or 2 MOVE children killed in the bombing and used them in an online teaching course without the family's knowledge or permission. Meanwhile, on Thursday, MOVE family members and hundreds of supporters held a memorial and marched by the scene of the May 13, 1985 police bombing of their home in Philadelphia, chanting the names of those killed and the lone adult and child survivors.
Run to Africa! Run to Africa! Teresa Africa! Teresa Africa! Frank Africa! Frank Africa! Raymond Africa! Raymond Africa! Conrad Africa! Conrad Africa! John Africa! John Africa! Tree Africa! Tree Africa! Alicia Africa! Alicia Africa! Netta Africa! Netta Africa! Little Phil Africa! Little Phil Africa! Tomaso Africa! Tomaso Africa! Birdie Africa! Birdie Africa! Ramona Africa! Ramona Africa!
You can see all our interviews about the 1985 MOVE bombing and its aftermath at democracynow.org.
Officials can drop a bomb on a neighborhood, on a family, and kill 11 people, 5 of them be children, and not suffer any consequence for it.
Thank you, Ninja Pup, for the 200 bits.
The government had an issue with the MOVE organization speaking about issues, and their reaction to that was to fly a helicopter over our house and drop a bomb on us. The government uses excessive force, and we see it every day when it comes to Black people being shot down in the street by these police and not even being punished for it. We haven't received any justice, and not in any fashion, restorative or otherwise.
Topics that 95 of Twitch political streamers won't even touch. I applaud you and your work.
Thanks, Ham Solo. Listen, you have to understand, a lot of the other Twitch streamers are children. And they don't have any education or background in politics. You know, it's just the meta, right? For some people, they got more viewers talk about politics, and now it's their meta. I mean, that's it. So once I got over that, I realized that I should stop being mad that they called themselves leftists and didn't know shit, and I should just move on and ignore them because they're irrelevant. And they're just, you know what I mean? Like, let's just do our own thing that's like actual politics. We'll interact with the people that do actual politics, and we won't interact with the children. That's kind of the new strategy going forward, right? Some people are gonna make dumb YouTube videos, you know? It is what it is. So that's what it is. This isn't taught in any school to boot. Learn some history before it's repeated. Yeah. Yeah. I believe that people can start co-ops and companies and the government can be useful, but should not be the means to an end. Really not that radical. Y'all should listen to more people like me instead of like, what? What are you trying to say? But have you interacted with AOC? No. Just on Twitter. The Mayo Clinic, founded by brothers who learned medicine by experimenting on the bodies of executed indigenous freedom fighters. Oh, God, there's so much more. So much more.
In fact, the mayor who dropped the bomb 2 years ago was honored with his own street sign. The mayor who ordered the bomb dropped was granted immunity, and the police commissioner who was part of this plot was granted immunity, and the fire commissioner who allowed the fire to burn was granted immunity. The fact is, government has been protecting the officials, and they don't care about the families of the MOVE organization that's been decimated. When I heard about it, I was in shock. I thought that all of the members of the organization who were murdered, I thought they were all buried. I had no reason to believe that anyone would have taken parts of their bodies and put them in a museum. People have to be held accountable, because how do you stop people from doing this in the future?
In chat, this stuff, you know, Frank Rizzo, mayor running for his third term on the campaign slogan of Vote White, the bombing of a Philadelphia neighborhood where it was allowed to burn out of control is disgusting. And I'll have you know, chat, that this doesn't just apply in the United States. It goes both ways. We have created this type of environment, and we have spread our apartheid system and our second-class citizenship, and we are now in a cycle with the Israelis. Right now in Gaza, you can see our political system and the oppression of people of color here reflected in the apartheid state of Israel. We do politics here every morning starting at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. You can watch us here on Twitch. We're the morning guy. The morning politics guy. Politics Frogs in every single day. Same time, 10 a.m. Day in, day out. And we carry you through your morning and early afternoon politics needs. And if you need more, Mike from PA, we have a YouTube channel. We talked about Suburbs, the My Pillow guy, Ted Cruz. We talked about DSA. Amazing. Making fun of Tim Pool. Amazing. Look at all of these amazing videos. Get in there, watch them. We have me on Twitter. You got to follow me on Twitter, chat. I'm at 20,614 subs. That means I got like 40 followers on Twitter in the last day. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. Go follow us on Twitter. And of course, join the Discord, where we have an incredible community of left-wing streamers. We have left-wing community. We talk about the stream. We talk about politics. There's gaming content. It's a really awesome, supportive place. Direct action, mutual aid. And you can just let off some steam. And also, you can help produce the show. One of the things I do is I look at the links that are put into the news content suggestions chat room on the Discord. Join the Discord, come hang out, and maybe what you want me to talk about will be part of the next show.